It's Friday, July 3rd. In the headlines, government earmarks $25 billion for 37 priority roads under Spark Main Roads program. In business news, we have your financial market updates. Regionally, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank celebrates 50 years of currency stability. And in sports, government establishes 2 new groups to strengthen the sports sector. This is the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. $25 billion have been set aside to rehabilitate 37 priority roads under the main road component of the Shared Prosperity Through Accelerated Improvement Program, the SPARK program. The works, covering about 170 kilometers across 11 parishes, were unveiled at Thursday's launch of the initiative at Jamaica House. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the program is aimed at improving critical infrastructure, easing traffic congestion, and boosting economic activity.
Not all of the road is asphalt and pipes. Much of what we do is about the planning for the road. So even before we put one backhoe on the road, there is a significant volume of work that is done to ensure that the road is done well and will last. In fact, the preparatory works are just as important, if not more important, than the actual implementation and construction.
Among the roads slated for rehabilitation are major corridors in Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, St. James, Hanover, and Westmoreland.
Some of them are very interesting and exciting prospects that will ease traffic congestion, that will increase economic activity, and some of them will require some significant engineering, including putting the road on top of the Sandy Gully. Those are some serious engineering, which I would really want to see before any work is done in that regard, because those are serious engineering requirements. But they will certainly improve traffic flow within urban centers right across Jamaica.
Works Minister Robert Morgan says SPARK is a full-scale rehabilitation program. He says the roads are selected using a data-driven approach focused on connectivity, accessibility, mobility, safety, and resilience.
We had consultations before I was Minister with responsibility for works, where the SDC, through the Ministry of Local Government, and the Constituency Development Unit here at the Office of the Prime Minister, the CDF Constituency Development Fund, went into communities, engaged stakeholders from both sides of the political aisle, and stakeholders who are not interested in politics, business people, civic groups, your neighborhood watch, the police, and said to them, tell us, how would you want your tax dollars to be spent in your community?
He notes that 630 roads were identified, but not all of them will be completed in this first phase. The Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, will discontinue Sunday operations on Route 512 between Mandeville and downtown Kingston, effective July 5. The state-owned bus company says the decision follows a review of passenger demand and revenue performance, which showed consistently low ridership on Sundays, with some trips carrying as few as 2 passengers. JUTC says the change is aimed at improving operational efficiency and ensuring better allocation of resources across its network, while maintaining safe and reliable service. The company adds that it remains committed to regularly reviewing routes and making data-driven adjustments to better meet commuter demand. Canadians and Jamaicans united in celebration marking 159 years of Canada's independence on Wednesday. The festivities not only honored Canada's history, but also celebrated the enduring bond with Jamaica, separated by oceans, but connected by shared values.
The celebration, which highlighted the strong bond between Canada and Jamaica, featured cultural displays, music, and community activities aimed at fostering friendship and mutual understanding. Hosted by the High Commission of Canada in Jamaica, the festivities showcased the enduring friendship and shared values between Canada and Jamaica.
Jamaica isn't just simply a neighbor in Canada's foreign policy. Jamaica is our anchor and our most significant bilateral partner in the English-speaking Caribbean. And that is not a title we use lightly. Our people-to-people ties are the cornerstone of our relationship with over 300,000 Canadians of Jamaican origin. One of the things I've come to appreciate is how often Canadians and Jamaicans discover that they already know each other, or they know something about each other. A Jamaican will mention a cousin in Brampton or Scarborough or Montreal or Calgary or Halifax, and a Canadian will mention a Jamaican neighbor or a colleague, a teacher, a nurse, an entrepreneur, or a friend. And before long, the conversation becomes less about two countries and more about one extended family spread across two shores.
Canada Day, established in 1867, is now a global celebration of multiculturalism and nationalism. In Jamaica, it also celebrates the close ties that have grown stronger over decades, spanning trade, education, tourism, and cultural exchange.
These mutual values continue to provide a strong foundation for the enduring and dynamic Jamaica-Canada partnership. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, for more than 6 decades, our friendship has grown steadily in depth, breadth, and significance since the establishment of diplomatic relations in August 1962. This special partnership has been further buttressed over the years by the vibrant people-to-people ties that connect our societies.
Since its founding, Canada has evolved into a diverse and inclusive nation. Canadians and Jamaican friends celebrated this rich heritage at the event.
This day is extra special because I'll fill you in on something. It's actually my birthday on the real Canada Day, so it's extra special. But I'm feeling a lot of pride, a lot of excitement this evening. We are so proud of our country. We are proud of the Jamaican roots that are in Canada, and it's great to be here celebrating it with fellow Jamaicans and Jamaican Canadians.
I'm like a bird, I'll only fly away.
Participants enjoyed the entertainment provided. The celebration serves as a reminder of the deepening bonds and mutual respect shared by Canadians and Jamaicans.
I think days like today are about not just celebrating Canada, it's about celebrating culture, and it's where we get to show off what's really important to us. In the same way that while I live in Jamaica, I learn about what's really important to you guys. So it's about sharing each other's experiences and about sharing each other's favorite things. So in Jamaica, you love track, you love football, you love good food, and in Canada, we love hockey.
As a born and raised Canadian, this day means a lot to me. It means freedom, it means national pride, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Attendees expressed hope for continued friendship and cooperation, connected by shared values and a commitment to progress.
If you could get even 5,000 more Jamaicans on the program, we would greatly appreciate it, and it would do well. Very, very well, not just empowering our families, but also to empower our nations. So ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to High Commissioner Berman, who will endeavor to get 5,000 more workers on the farmer program.
I am Marlon Samuels, reporting for the news on PBCJ.
Stress can be detrimental to your health, and as such, it is of importance that we find coping mechanisms. Chanel Matthews took to the streets to find out how people handle their stress.
How do you cope with stress?
I cope with stress by being with nature. I like to read, talking to my friends, listening to music. For nature, immediately I come to Hope Gardens, surrounded by the beautiful trees, the birds making noise, and just walking around, relieving that type of stress, taking deep breaths, exhaling and stuff like that. I like to read self-awareness books that teaches me where I can learn something from to grow myself and my mind and how I deal with people, because my job is stressful, so I need that to alleviate that type of stress when dealing with people.
I'm a gamer, so I tend to game a lot, playing FIFA, Call of Duty sometimes on my phone. Sometimes I watch some reels, IG, YouTube. It's good to have some comedic relief in your life, so laugh a little. Yeah, that's pretty much how I handle my stress.
To be honest, I listen to music, play video game, sometimes I drink. But drinking is not the right way, I learned that since lately, so the stress will still be there. So sometimes you have to just speak to a good friend who you can trust, talk about it, relax, pray. Yeah, and listen to music. Music is life, Yes.
Stress can drive you insane. Once it gets to you mentally, it will take advantage of you. So I try to put everything in God's hand and handle it the best way I can, step by step, slowly but surely. I try to focus on what's most important and avoid letting it get the best of me.
With me I always listen to music. If it is not country music, reggae music, pop, soul, anything that I am a music girl, so I always listen to music and those stuff. So that is how I cope with stress.
In the business report, net remittance inflows to Jamaica declined in April as money sent home by Jamaicans overseas was offset by an increase in funds flowing out of the country. The Bank of Jamaica says net remittances fell 0.8% or $2.3 million in April. The decline contrasts with a 2.6% increase recorded in April last year, representing a turnaround of 3.4% over the 12-month period. According to the central bank, the result reflected a 0.5% or $1.4 million decline in total remittance inflows, combined with a 5.1% or $1 million increase in outflows. The United States remained the largest source of remittances, accounting for approximately 69% of inflows. Andrea Livingston-Price, Chief Project Manager of the Rural Incubator SEED, suggests that climate resilience is now a way of life for farmers who join cooperatives to strengthen their business practices.
We're back in the hurricane season, and the best way we're thinking about getting out of this horrible cycle of not being prepared is to talk to someone who deals with the rural development sector on a daily basis. So welcome, Andrea Livingston-Prince.
Yes, thank you so very much.
Yeah, founder of Seed Rural Incubator that has cooperatives as clients. Now, in dealing, so you don't deal with the individual farmer, but you deal with the cooperatives.
Yeah.
And cooperatives can be as big as 120 farmers, right? Okay.
Yes.
So from the perspective of the cooperative who is in your incubator, tell us what we're doing in terms of resiliency and being prepared.
Yes, thank you so very much. And thank you for focusing on rural. One of the things that I should celebrate is that our members are self-reflective. So they know what they need to do. They know what they didn't do in the past. They know what they didn't do for burial. They know how long it took them to recover. They know what they didn't do when Melissa came, and they know how to change, and they celebrate how quickly each crop turned around. What am I talking about? A business continuity plan. We have to get real with ourselves. What we did before in the last hurricane system, we can't do this time. What was successful, we repeat. It takes deliberate farming techniques, technologies, and good old-fashioned hurricane response mechanisms.
Fantastic. So there you have it. We have a hurricane season resilience. This is every year.
Every year.
Reality.
As a matter of fact, 2 times a year.
Oh Lord, 2 times a year. And so for the rural development sector, it's a keen focus.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are in an incubator that deals with cooperatives,
yes,
that's the power of the group.
Yes.
And so the group, not just the individual farmer.
Yes.
In fact, that may even be a tip. Join
a cooperative or a group, a community business group.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And so thank you, Andrea, for sharing what's happening in the prep for hurricane season.
Denise Williams brings us the details in this interview, along with the latest market updates.
For the trading period of July 2, 2026, the most actively traded securities were Supreme Ventures Limited with 11,258,610 units, representing 37.28% of market sales activity. Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited with 3,096,567 units, representing 10.25% of market sales activities. Kingston Wharves Limited with 2,019,637 units, representing 6.69% of market sales activities. Investor activity remained concentrated in transportation and distribution plays, signaling continued interest in dividend-producing and strategic assets. Turning to the foreign exchange market based on Bank of Jamaica data for July 2, 2026, Forex traders recorded significant activity with strong demand across major currencies. For the US dollar, trading margins reflected steady liquidity, with the US selling at $159.05 and buying at $157.26. The Canadian dollar had moderate gains supported by 60-cent transaction spreads. The Canadian dollar sold for $112.78 and was bought for $112.18. The British pound had continued volatility, which offered short-term trading opportunities of $1.04 in profits for the banks. The British pound sold for $210.89 and was bought for $209.85. These movements underscore the importance of cash flow timing and currency awareness for businesses managing import costs, debt servicing, or overseas exposure. For our credit report tip of the day, you didn't marry their credit score, you married their financial story. Every person has a financial story. Some grew up watching their parents save every dollar. Others grew up watching bills pile up on the kitchen table. Some learned that credit was a tool, others learned it was a lifeline. By the time we become adults, our relationship with money has already been shaped, long before we enter a relationship. That's why so many couples are surprised when love isn't enough to overcome financial differences. So ask questions like, what did money represent in your home growing up? What financial decision are you most proud of? What financial mistake taught you the biggest lesson? What does financial security mean to you? And what kind of financial legacy do you want to leave? These conversations reveal far more than a credit report ever could. A credit score can improve, debt can be repaid, income can grow. The healthiest couples don't just combine bank accounts, they combine vision, values, and a shared commitment to making better financial decisions than the generations before them.
And that's today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams. Until next time, stay informed, stay intentional, and keep building forward. See you soon.
In regional news, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank is celebrating a major monetary milestone, 50 years of the EC dollar's fixed exchange rate to the US dollar. During a panel discussion in St. Kitts and Nevis, regional leaders and economists credited the long-standing currency peg with helping to maintain price stability, investor confidence, and economic resilience across the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. HTS News Force has the details.
The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank marked the 50th anniversary of the EC dollar's peg to the US dollar at EC $2.70 to US $1. With a panel discussion on July 1st in St. Kitts and Nevis, panelists included Governor Timothy N.J. Antoine, former board director Rosamond Edwards, CARICOM's Dr. Wendell Samuel, and youth representative Alrika Antoine, who is also the General Secretary of the St. Lucia National Youth Council. Governor Antoine opened the discussion by highlighting the significance of the occasion. He noted the peg has delivered credibility far beyond the size of the region's small economies.
The stability of the EC dollar is one of the greatest achievements in respect of regional cooperation anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. That stability has delivered for our currency union a credibility that is far beyond the size of our small economies. Credibility matters. So, at the heart of this anniversary celebration is really a celebration of regional cooperation and trust.
Health officials in St. Lucia are stepping up Ebola preparedness, even as regional risk remains low. Authorities have strengthened surveillance at ports of entry, expanded testing capacity, and designated quarantine and isolation facilities. Officials say the measures are aimed at protecting both residents and visitors while ensuring the island is prepared to respond if needed.
The Ebola threat remains an ever-present danger, and health officials in St. Lucia are not letting their guard down. They are beefing up vigilance and putting measures in place to isolate individuals if necessary.
Interventions continue to strengthen the ports of entry to support timely identification, reporting and management of travelers who may have been exposed to Ebola virus disease or traveled from affected countries within the previous 21 days. The Kaffa Regional Referral Lab has now received the capacity to test for Ebola viruses and has coordinated transportation of suspected case specimens on behalf of member states. As per travel advisory for St. Lucia, the public is advised against travel to high-risk regions, and persons who travel into country from the defined high-risk regions will be placed on 21-day home quarantine. A 15-room isolation ward and a 12-bed management ward has been identified in the event cases are suspected, diagnosed, or detected on island.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar-George noted that while the spread of the Ebola virus has not reached pandemic proportions, regional and international collaboration remains crucial to controlling the epidemic.
The Chief Medical Officer, the National Epidemiologist, and the Laboratory Director attended CAFA's Joint Regional Health Security and Regional Coordinating Mechanism for Health Security meeting in Trinidad and Tobago from June 9th to 11th, 2026. This meeting served to advance regional coordination and collaboration for emergency response and prevention, preparedness and response, surveillance, and data sharing. The effective regional health coordination requires a coordinated, collaborative approach among member states and partners to protect the health of their local and visitor populations and mitigate health threats such as infectious diseases and pandemics.
In sports, 2 new sports bodies have been established as part of efforts to improve policy development, coordination, and oversight. While making her contribution to the 2026-2027 sectoral debate, Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport Minister Olivia Grange said the newly formed National Sports Advisory Council will provide strategic guidance for the development of the sector.
I'm pleased to announce the establishment of the National Sports Advisory Council to perform the following functions: provide advice to the Minister on policy and harmonization of the sports industry, promote sport development actions, conduct impact assessment and analyses of government's policy directives, provide ongoing development of proposals for national policy in relation to sport, advise on strategies to create synergies among sport federations through capacity building, streamlining funding and infrastructure development, monitoring the transformation plan for sports, ensuring timely and effective implementation.
She also announced the establishment of the National Sports Commission.
I'm also pleased to announce the establishment of the National Sports Commission, which will oversee the streamlining of the agencies serving the sports sector, thus moving the sector to the next level as part of our transformation plan that the entities will be resourced to benefit from innovation, take advantage of opportunities for economies of scale, and expand their services to the sports sector.
Minister Grange said the entities will be equipped with resources to modernize operations, improve service delivery, and take advantage of innovation and economies of scale. In football, 3 more teams have booked their places in the FIFA World Cup round of 16 following convincing victories in the round of 32. Spain cruised into the next round with a dominant 3-0 win over Austria, while Portugal edged Croatia 2-1 to keep their title hopes alive. Switzerland also advanced after a comfortable 2-0 victory over Algeria, completing another day of a knockout action. The latest results have set up a blockbuster round of 16 clash between Spain and Portugal, while Switzerland will face the winner of the Colombia versus Ghana encounter. Round of 32 action continues today with Australia taking on Egypt, Argentina facing Cape Verde, and Colombia meeting Ghana as the remaining places in the last 16 are decided. And that's it for the weekend news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thank you so much for watching.